Section 72 engages a case where the proper officer may demand the full amount of duty chargeable on the account of warehouse goods and together with the interest, fines, and penalties payable to the respect of the goods. The owner of the warehouse is required to forfeit the same as a payment. The case is by Section 72 as follows, where the warehouse goods are removed from the warehouse in the contrary to Section 73, where the warehouse goods have not been removed from the warehouse at the expiry of the period during the same as permitted under Section 60 when they remain in warehouse. Where the goods are respect of which bonds has been executed under Section 59, there would not been clear in the account consumption or exports are not been due. The account doesn't satisfied with the proper officer. In the case of owner failed to pay the duty chargeable to the account warehouse together with the interest, the fine and penalties payable respect of the goods and warehouse by proper officer and may cause the goods to be detained and sold such a sufficient portion of the goods and if that warehouse as the same officer may deemed fit. However, the proper officer has a first to give notice to the owner and any transfer of the goods notwithstanding for sale. Cancellation of return of the warehouse upon when the whole of the goods covered by the bond executed under Section 59 has been cleared from all consumption or export or transfer or any otherwise duly accounted for, then all the accounts due to the accounts of such goods has been paid. The proper officer shall cancel the bond and discharge the full and shall on deemed delivery so and cancel the previous person who executed and entitled to receive it. The custody and removal of warehouse goods Section 73A. Licensee shall contain the warehouse of keeper of the discharge function on the warehouse. Warehouse keeper will be in charge of the warehouse and shall have the computerized systems and accounting of the goods. In case of private and public warehouse, there is only record-based control. The physical control of board of bond officers is not there. Indeed, under this is the presence is required only in the case of removal of goods and the export. Consequently, the responsibility of warehouse keepers assumes the great significance. A significant warehouse remains locked, and any removal deposit of goods then and the warehouse only in the presence of the bond officer. The warehouse keeper shall maintain the records of the receipts, handling, or storing the removal of any goods into or from the warehouse. Each activity operation is resulting in the warehouse of goods and removal of samples from the warehouse goods. He shall keep the copies of the document awaiting the receipt and removal of the goods into the from the warehouse and the copies of the bonds executed. The secret records and accounts are required to be preserved for the minimum of 5 years from the date of removal of goods from the warehouse. Further, digital copies of the same has been needed and preserved for the place other than house. Section 73A makes a warehouse keeper the custodian of the warehouse goods and prescribe the provision for custody and removal of warehouse goods. In the stipulates, all the warehouse goods will be remain the custody of a person who is being granted licenses section 57, 58, and 58 until the closure here from the home consumption, transfer to another warehouse, export of the mode of otherwise provided by the Custody Act. Warehouse goods are removed in contravention of Section 71. The license shall be liable to put duty and interest and times of financial penalty. It will be added to any other action that may be taken against the act or other law time being enforced. The provision discussed in the para has been laid down by the warehouse custody and handling of goods regulations 2016, a special warehouse custody and handling of goods regulation 2016. This regulation has been notified to vest the license with the responsibility including appointment of warehouse keeper, providing sufficient facilities, equipment and personnel, maintaining the preservation of records and also the prescribe the procedure to be followed by the licensee or bond work officer on arrival of goods in or removal of goods from the warehouse. Let us recapitulate types of warehouse: public warehouse, private warehouse, and special warehouse. 57, 58, 58A. In sight of building license of principles of CCU and CCSUs, where the suitable goods has been deposited, they are under the record-based controls and not under customs. Private warehouse is a site of building or licensed by the principal commissioner or CUS. They have that document reputable goods are imported by the license or depositor. Special warehouse sites of building are licensed by the principal officer where the dutiable goods are notified by CBAC may be deposited. It is domain under the physical control of PO under the customs side. Warehouse bond. The warehouse bond plus prescribed security. Importers has to furnish a warehouse bond plus security for the warehousing goods or for transferring the goods from one warehouse to another warehouse without paying customs duties. Custodian goods, consignment bond or rental bond. Thrice the amount of the duty of assessed consignment bond, general bond. Assistant Commissioner and Deputy Commissioner may permit the importer to execute a general bond in respect of the goods warehouse within the specific period for which goods remains in the warehouse. A class of goods and times of which goods may be remains warehouse. The goods in the use of warehouse may manufacture, clear operations or permitted under Section 65. It is capital goods till the clearance of goods from the warehouse, other goods till the consumption or clearance of goods from the warehouse. Goods rather than one, the expiry of 1 year from the date of the order pertaining to deposit the goods in the warehouse. Interest on the warehouse goods. Class of goods and provision relating to the interest payable, the capital goods and other goods for the use of any warehouse where manufacturers or operations are permitted under Section 65. So no interest is payable. Goods other than one, the interest will be payable for the goods remaining in the warehouse beyond 90 days in which the customs duty has not been paid, date on which the order permitted deposit of goods in the warehouse under Section 60 is made. 15% of return. Amount to be interest payable, duty payable on the time of clearance of the goods. Period interest is payable for the expiry of 90 days till the date of payment of duty on the warehouse goods. Owner's right to deal with the warehouse goods. The owner has a right to inspect, owner has a right to ensure the goods do not deteriorate or damage, owner has sought and has a right to show for sale. Treatment of the waste from the manufacturing or the operations relating to warehouse. The whole part of the goods resulting from such operations are exported. The importer duty to be remitted and waste to be either destroyed or duty to be paid. The whole are part of goods resulting from such operations are clear from the warehouse of the home section. Import duty is charged. Removal of goods from the warehouse, transfer from one warehouse to another, clearance from the home consumption, clearance for the export. Allowance in respect of volatile goods and natural gas, AC and DC may remit the duty.